right, welcome back. We're going to be going over squares and square roots today. So, what's something you enjoyed over break? That's what you're going to put in your warm up section of your assignment, which is on the CAMI document. And let's take a look at our notes. You're going to fill in your notes and fill in the vocabulary on your CAMI document as well. So, perfect squares and square roots, all things squares. So, a square root is the number that when squared, when you square something, you multiply it by itself, it will produce a given number. So the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 9 is 3 because if you were to square 3, you would get 9. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. So the square root of 9 is 3. So essentially, the square root is the inverse operation to squaring a number. So just like multiplication is the inverse to division or opposite to division, the square root is the opposite of squaring. Okay? A perfect square is a number that is made by squaring a whole number. So for example, you have this square here, and this square is a 4 by 4. Okay? The square is a 4 by 4. And with this 4 by 4, you have the perfect square because you have 4 here, 4 here. If you multiply that, the area of this square is 16. So when you square something, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 squared is 16. Then the square root of 16 will be equal to 4. Okay? When you square a number, that's the area of the square. This is the area of the square. Okay? When you find the square root of a number, that is the side of the squares. This would be the side length. When you find the square root, and then this is the area of the square when you square a number. Okay? Then the radical is a sign that indicates the square root of the number that follows. So if I had a number here and then I had the square root, this is called the radical sign. Okay? Now let's take a look. So I have a sketch here. And so I have one square. This square has the dimensions of a 1 by 1. Okay? So in exponential form, it'll be 1 squared. In the area of this square, the area of this square is 1. Okay? Because 1 times 1 is 1. Now here, I have another sketch. This sketch, I have a 2 by 2. And in exponential form, this would be 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 squared is 4. The area of this square is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2. 2 by 2. Okay? So here I have a 3 by 3. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my square. And I'm going to draw a 3 by 3. So in exponential form, that'll be 3 squared. And 3 squared is 9. So the area of this square is 9. And you can double check because you can count each square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So the area of the square is 9, but the side length is 3. 1, 2, 3. Next, I have 4 squared. So I know the dimensions would be 4 by 4. I'm going to draw my sketch. And I have a 4 by 4. And 4 squared gives me 16. Okay? So all of these above, we were given either the dimensions or the exponential form. We were able to draw our sketch. Now we're going to go backwards. So now I'm going to look for the area. So I'm given the area. So we know the area is 25. In order for me to find the side length or the dimensions, I need to find the square root of 25. So the square root of 25, what number multiplied by itself gives me 25 would be 5. So now that I know the square root of 25 is 5, I know my dimensions would be a 5 by 5, which is 5 squared. Okay, and then I just draw my sketch of a 5 by 5. So you can go backwards and forward with squares and square roots. So just to give another reminder, a perfect square is when you square a whole number. So when you have the square root of 16, that's a perfect square because that's 4. Or the square root of 100 is 10. That's a whole number. Now, if I were to give you the square root of 5, this is an imperfect square because there is no whole number multiplied by itself to give me 5. And I'm going to give you an example of that by putting the square root of 5 in our calculator. Now, if I put the square root of 5 in my calculator, let's see. So in order to get the square root, I'm going to click the second button. And where you see x squared is you're going to press that because that's blue. So to get to any of the blue buttons, you press second first and then the button that's under it. And same thing for green. Okay, so the square root of 5, then enter. That's 2.24 approximately, right? So we're going to put 2.24. That is not a whole number, so it gives me an imperfect square. So always remember your perfect squares would be, let's say square root of 4, you get a whole number. Square root of 16, you get a whole number. So whenever it's a whole number, it's a perfect square. If you don't get a whole number, it's not a perfect square. Next, so on your assignment, you're going to complete this chart. So you have 1 squared. 1 squared is equal to 1. And so the square root of 1 is equal to 1, right? 2 squared is 4, which is how you get the square root of 4, okay? And then the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So you're going to fill in each missing box. So what is n squared equal to, and then what is the square root of n equal to. You're going to complete this and then complete your assignment. One last thing, just a reminder, second x squared helps you get the square root symbol. Another thing, alpha y equals helps you get your fraction. So if you needed to put a fraction with a square root, you could do so, okay? So you're going to go ahead and complete your assignment on Cami. Complete all tables, all answers, and watch the Ed puzzle when you are done. Have a great day.